Yay! Hello YouTubers, it's Danielle here on the 2nd of January 2016. Welcome back to the Magic Bus. Lots to catch up on. First off, I want to say Happy New Year, and I want to thank the 230 people that have subscribed to my YouTube channel and have been hanging in, waiting for me to upload new videos. So that's about to happen. This is the first of many, I hope. I've been off the air for a couple of years now, basically because my old computer crapped out and I wasn't able to upload video using this camera. So I got another computer that I can do that with, and we're going to get at it. So to catch you up on the last couple of years, just briefly, I haven't been doing a great deal of clay work. I was focused more on gardening for the last few years. My next door neighbor has a full-size greenhouse, a 25 by 60 or 65 greenhouse, and he's been letting me grow food up there for the last 3 years, and it's been really quite a good experience for me. I've been growing lots of food and giving it away to my friends and neighbors, and I think that that's an important thing to do, to share with our community. And me as one little person doing that, I hope that I'm affecting the collective consciousness to induce other people to do the same. Anyway, it's been a real good experience. I've never grown food before. Anyway, I'm back in the studio. I'm making fairy garden houses now. I've put the Dogs from Outer Space project on hold for a while. There. It's going to sit like that. I can't see the monitor. It's just like this little tiny thing. From where I'm sitting, it's a little less than the size of a business card, so I'm squinting to see what's going on there. There we go. And you can see this little house that I've made. I've got a few more on the other side of the studio, and when I turn the camera around, I'll show you those pieces as well. Now, when I first started growing food up in the greenhouse, I became aware of the Finhorn garden story. For those of you who are not familiar, Finhorn was a community in England, I believe, back in the 1960s. It was basically a trailer park. I guess they call them caravan parks across the pond. But anyway, a group of people started growing food. They were on assistance or unemployed or on welfare or whatever, and they really couldn't afford groceries and that sort of thing. And anyway, they started growing food there on this dirt that had no nutrients in it or anything. And you know, they learned how to build soil, and more importantly, they learned how to tap into the fairy realm and the garden divas and the plant divas, and gain information and assistance on learning to grow food. This is not crazy talk. This is something that really happened. You can I got the book from the library, the Finhorn Garden Story, and if you do some research on the internet, you can read about it. Anyway, these people were able to tap into the fairy realm and gain information and assistance on growing food, and they grew unbelievably beautiful fruits and vegetables that they were able to distribute to their community. Anyway, so when I started working up in Andy's greenhouse, Um, when I'd go up there in the morning, I would say hello to the greenhouse, and I'd thank it for helping me to learn how to grow food, because I didn't know anything. My neighbor has a rototiller. He showed me how to use the rototiller, and yeah, it was a really good experience. Anyway, so I'm going on and on here, but I got the idea for making these fairy houses just because what's out there. I mean, there's a whole culture of people that are making fairy gardens, and the truth of the matter is, all these cute little buildings and chairs and bicycles and all this stuff all these accessories are more than likely made in third world countries, in sweatshops, where labor conditions are poor and people are paid next to nothing to produce this work. And for me, you know, this may sound airy-fairy, but I want to make little houses for these garden spirits, for the fairy realm, that come from the heart, that are made by hand, that are not just, you know, mass-produced out of molds in sweatshops. I will stop talking, zoom in on work. Back. So we got this thing zoomed in now. Now I have here a plastic syringe that's filled with some wet clay, so that I can extrude like a long strip that's going to go along the base of this little house. Now, just to recap, the way to get clay to adhere to dry clay, this is low fire cone 06 commercial paper clay. This is made in Seattle, but your pottery supply will have paper clay. Anyway, alright, so what I'm going to do is get this surface really nice and wet here. Okay, can you see this alright? Get this nice and wet, and then I'm going to squish out a little bit of this clay. Get it wet again. I've got some broken down wet slip in this little container here. And now I'm just going to press this stuff in here. Wet my thumb a little bit and just shape this stuff into crevices. Now the reason that I'm making a base is, well, one, because it's going to look a little more polished, and two, because these little staircases that I've made are kind of delicate, and if it didn't have a base, then you know, they might be likely to break off or something. Okay, so that's one side. I'll just keep working my way around. Okay, so that's done all the way around. Now I'm just going to have to leave it for a little while and let that dry a bit. Now, I don't know if you can see. Let me try and zoom in here again. If you have a look at the roof and the chimney, like there's some texture for shingles or bricks or whatever that I've dug in there. So so that side is done, but I haven't done this side yet. So all I'm going to do to put that texture in, I'm going to spray some water on that, and then take a pin tool. Pin tool, can you see that? And just draw that in there. Get it nice and wet, so but you know, some garden diva, some little fairy, or you know, maybe just like ants and flies and who knows, worms. When it's out in the garden, might want to move in here, you know, rent free. So there you go. If I was a little forest critter of one kind or another, I would think this would be a pretty skookum little house. Okay, skookum, that's a BC word for very cool. Okay, while I'm letting this dry, I will swing the camera around and I'm going to light some tea light candles, and I'll show you these little pieces that I've been working on so far. Okay, so I'll just click this off, and I'll be back with you in a couple of minutes. So I started with that one on the right. I'll just, yeah, I'll click the light off now. And click that light off now. There we go. So I started off with that one on the right, and then I got a little more complex, and then I got a little more complex, and this one and that one are the only two that are fired and glazed now. Now over in the corner here, maybe I better turn that light back on. One more time, I'll just kill the light here. There. Oops, sorry. Okay, there. You can see that quite a bit of the moisture has absorbed around the base. I mean, it's still a little bit damp. It's going to take, you know, probably a few hours for it to dry completely. But it's dry enough now that I can lift it, pull it off the newspaper. There. And you can see the bottom here. Well, see, there's a little spot that I should probably fill. But there's a space there that you can put your little tea light candle, and like that. And there's me, and here's the little house. the little house on the table. Okay, so the last thing that I want to announce in this video is that I have opened a web store on Etsy.com. That's ETSY.com. And that, if for those of you who don't know, is an online store for artists and crafters to sell their work. And the name of my store is called Rainforest Ceramics. So once I've got all those pieces done, then I will be photographing those pieces and putting them up on Etsy.com if you're interested in buying some of my work. So the other thing that I have to say about this is that this YouTube channel, I will never put advertisements on it. I will not monetize it. The reason that I'm putting these videos up is this is my way of being of service to the community. For all you artists and crafters, I just want to share the knowledge that I've learned working with paper clay, and I'm pretty much self-taught. I mean, I did a few years of art college here and there. I'm not going to put any advertising up on YouTube. I don't believe in it. I just want to put these videos up for free that you can enjoy. And that, like I say, if you want to support my work, then go to my Etsy store called Rainforest Ceramics, and you can purchase my work. And I'm going to make it as affordable as I can, because yeah. What else? Okay. The other thing that I want to say is I'm going to put my transgender story up again. I did start up another YouTube channel, but I never did anything with it. And the other YouTube channel is called Reasonable Facsimile. And I thought that I would tell my transgender story. In a few days it's going to be 27 years that I've been female. Or not born female, but female. Yeah, 27 years. So I want to put the transgender story up so that kids can be aware. I mean, there's a lot of kids that are coming out transgender identified now, and I want to talk about it and let them know that, yes, you may be trans and you may transition, but it's not a miracle cure for everybody. Your life is still going to have challenges. It's not going to be just like magical poof. The world is becoming a whole lot more understanding and tolerant, but in the time that I came out in 1984, 85, and I still have to deal with rednecks and homophobia. And I guess there will always be some element of negativity and ignorant people, sad to say. But it takes courage to follow this path, and if it's what you feel in your heart, then it's worth doing. Okay, anyway, this is the first video of 2016. I apologize for being a little long-winded, but there was a lot of stuff I wanted to cover here. And yeah, and I hesitate and I say a lot, and my dad used to scream at me for that, which didn't help matters. So if you're a parent, be gentle with your kids and encourage them rather than put them down, Okay, that's it for now. Happy 2016. Danielle Bluestone signing off. Click.